Hello, this is Lefty Chris, and for this video, I'm migrating a plugin node from one server to another. I'm going to post this link in the description, but it states migrating the plugin node to a new server is easy if you have followed the latest script from our plugin deployment folder. For other steps, there's going to be new documentation. What you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure you raise a ticket on oracles.plugin.co and keep the plugin team informed. And then you may begin the migration. But this video is going to actually show you the steps as to how to do so. So the very first thing you'll want to make sure you do is you'll want to make sure that you have a backup for your old node or your old VPS. So I'm going to go to the backup and restore GitHub page. I'll be posting all the links in the description. But if you haven't backed your node up, you'll want to do so. You'll want to copy number one and paste it into your VPS. Make sure that you're in the plugin deployment path and then paste it. And then you'll want to copy this line here, the plugin node underscore backup.sh full for a full backup. Paste it into your VPS, and then you can run number one once more. Copy and paste it into your VPS, and then run it again. And then to check if you already have a backup, you can check to see. For this node, or this VPS, I'm gonna check, and I do have some backups. This is a node that I actually was able to migrate from a previous VPS, so I'll be migrating this node to another VPS. And further proof to show that this is a node that's running. You can see it's 207, 246, 108, 203. If I go to my notes, that's this line here, and I'm already in there. I have a job. You can see at the top, it's the same IP address, and you can see my alarm clock job is similar to this job here. So this node is fully functional and running. The only thing I haven't done is I haven't went to GoPlugin to basically put it into the system. So with that being said, let's get started. So at this point, you should have a new VPS ready to go. You'll want to make sure you have a new VPS. I'm going to close this out. I do have a VPS ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and log into it. I'm going to change this to 14 to make the font larger. I'm going to log in. Put in our password. Okay. So we're in this VPS, and this VPS doesn't have anything in it. If I type ls, you can see it just says snap. There's nothing. This is a brand new VPS. So now what we need to do is we need to go back to the automated script method GitHub page. We're going to go ahead and start number one. And while number one is going, we're going to copy number two, and we're going to paste it into our new notepad. It's fresh. Paste. Now, this part actually is one of the most important parts. What you need to do is your user has to be the same as your previous node. So for example, for this node, my user was lefty, lefty, lefty. So we have to change this to lefty as well. The password can be changed. You can change it to whatever you like. So I'm going to put Xinfin, and then my new user, let's change it to lefty and change this to lefty as well. And then save. Okay, and so now we're going to copy and we're going to paste. Then we're going to exit and reopen. So we're logging in as lefty and the password is Xinfin. Okay, we're in. Now we can start on number 4. Okay, so we did steps 1 through 4. We're not going to do 5 just yet. So now we need to go to the performing backup and restore GitHub page. Again, that link will also be in the description. We need to go all the way down to number 1. We need to copy this line, paste. We need to put in our password. Okay, and so it's setting up the folder so we can actually start the backup. The next thing that we want to make sure that we have is we want to make sure that we have our backup file ready to go. And so we have the file node backup. You'll want to change the last portion. It'll be slash apply underscore apply node underscore backups slash. And so we're going to actually go ahead and save that. We're going to copy. And then we're going to paste. Press enter. Type yes. And then we need the password for the previous node. Again, or the previous VPS. We need the password for the previous VPS. So again, the password would be Zinny. So XINNY, press enter. All right, that looks good. Okay, now I'm going to type clear. And we're going to go back to the backup page. We will want to run, let's see, number 3. Okay, and then we want to run number 1 once more. And remember, I'm only copying the last part here. We can't use this full thing. We have to actually use the last portion. So I'm gonna press enter. Okay, so everything is saved. And now we want to run the restore. So we're going to go all the way down to number 1. Actually, we're not doing the in place restore. We're doing the full restore. So we actually need to come down to this portion here. It'll say restore the conf files. So you want to copy, and then you want to paste, press enter. Now it's showing the last files that I have. You want the conf vars files. So we could either do number 4 or number 1. Let's do number 4. Okay, and so now it's saying we need the .env.password key. So that is similar to the key store secret. That is the key store secret. You want to copy it. And again, it's the key store secret to your previous VPS or your previous node that you made. So copy, and then you want to paste. You want to press enter. Okay, looks good to go. So now we are ready for number 5. So we can go back to the script GitHub page, go to number 5 and paste, and then press enter and let that run. All right, so we're finally finished with number 5, and I'm going to copy this information here, and let's actually get there we go. We're going to paste it. All right, and if you look closely, I'm going to compare the two. So if you look closely, you can see that the key store secret is the same. Postgres password is the same. AP user password, same, yep. And then it does not give a node regular address, but we do have the plugin node GUI IP address, and that is definitely different than the one that I showed you guys. So next, what we need to do, well, let me save this first. But what we need to do is we need to close this VPS out, and then we need to open it right back up. So let me go back into it, and then lefty, Xinfin. Okay. All right. So now we need to go right back to the perform backup and restore GitHub page. Let's scroll all the way down to, oh, we did that. We did that. Okay. So we need to restore the database. So let's go back and copy this restore portion. Let's get into our plugin deployment path. And then you want to paste, press enter. We need the password for our new VPS now. Okay, and so now we need the DB file. So, you know, we restored the first time, it was the vars file. Now we need a DB file. So I can choose either between 2 or 3. I'll do number 2. Okay, and then you want to type yes. It says, are you performing a full restore to blank / new VPS? So you want to type yes for that. Okay, so now we are on the next part. You can see that it says DB restored completed. So now at this point, we're going to use the new information. Let's go ahead and copy our information from the new VPS. Let's go into our node, click on advanced, click on proceed. All right, and we should be ready to go. Let's actually go to the old information. And again, the old information has been migrated. Everything has been migrated except for the VPS IP address when we're actually trying to log into the node. So that's going to change, but we can still use this information because it's the exact same as the new information. So either or is fine, but we're going to use the new information. All right, we're logged in, and you can see that um, from the new information, they didn't give me a node regular address in the VPS, but we can go to the old information and see that this was our node regular address. If we go back into our node, click on keys, and then scroll down, you can compare E6276, E6276. So this is indeed our old node, and we can paste that here. It's our old node, but it's been migrated to the new VPS. Everything is looking good so far. One way to check, or another way to check, is if we go back to the backup and restore GitHub page, if we scroll all the way down, we'll get to a few tests. Let's do an alarm clock test. And so we're going to copy, and then we're going to uh, go to our VPS, and then let's paste XDC. This is a test. Enter. All right. So it created a little test ID 26D4. Go to jobs 26D4. It was just created, so that's good. Okay, and then now what we can do is we can go and create another alarm clock job with a new Oracle contract address. If you remember, you make a new Oracle contract address through XDC Remix. So what we need to do is um, we need to create a new file, or more than likely you should have this file. If you don't, you can go to the documentation page. You'll want to scroll all the way to Oracle deployment, and then scroll down and copy. So we have it already. We're going to compile. Remember, change this to 0.4.24. Compile. Change this to injected web 3. This is my wallet. We need to go to the main GoPlugin page and copy this information here at the top, paste it into the deploy section, and then delete the first three letters, which is XDC, change it to 0x, and then deploy. We're going to submit. We're going to click on the arrow, and then in the set fulfillment, we need our address. So we could actually, just to test it out, let's use number 14 of the perform backup and restore operations. Let's go back to 14. It's just a final check to make sure that the node address is the same. So let's go ahead and paste it into our new VPS. And then it needs our password for the new VPS. Okay, 6276. This is the old VPS, 6276 and 6276. So this is right. Everything looks very good. So now let's go ahead and paste it. Remember, quotations at the beginning and at the end. And then comma, type true. And then you'll want to click submit. Click on the arrow next to debug. Look for 2, and you should see a new Oracle contract address. Go ahead and paste it into your new notepad. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And then go back to your VPS. And also go back to, let's see, we can actually go back to number 10 where it's the alarm clock job test. So we're going to paste into our VPS, and then we need to put in our new Oracle contract address, paste it, press enter. Okay, and then you want to save this information here into your notepad. And then let's go back to XDC Remix or Xinfin Remix, and we'll want to go to alarm.sol, and let's actually that down. So remember, this has 51 lines of code, so you could go to testing, and then you should see it's the same 51 lines. You want to change number 21 and 22. So let's go ahead and change this. Okay, and then just to make sure that's right. Nope, that is not right. I would have messed up. Let's actually expand it. We're going to copy, paste. There we go. And then actually expand it a little bit more. Let's compile. And then again, copy the smart contract address, paste. We're changing XDC to 0x, deploy, submit. And we're going to copy right next to alarm clock sample. We're copying. We're going to go to our wallet, and we're sending just a little ply, 0.001, click next. And I sent 0.001 because I changed the fee for line 23 to 0.001. If you didn't change it, you would need to send 0.1. And so now we're going to type the number 2 for request alarm, and we're going to submit. And then we're going to go right back to the dashboard, go back to the node, click on jobs, click on runs. Okay, you can see that this was just created, and there we go. We have a new job that is completed, and it's the same exact uh, alarm ID, and you can even also verify in your VPS as well. So this node is complete. It is fully migrated. The next thing that you'll want to make sure you do is you'll want to go to oracles.goplugin.co, and you'll want to not necessarily submit your node, but you'll want to open a ticket and talk to the GoPlugin team to tell them that you migrated your node from one VPS to another. And you should have the same um, node regular address. That should still be the same. So I feel like as long as that's the same, then it's okay. I think that when you're doing your test, you're going to change your Oracle contract address, so that's going to be different, and you'll just want to make sure that that's changed. So, with that being said, I hope that this helps any individual that wanted to um, migrate their node. I know, again, this was a video that a lot of individuals requested and they needed some help with. So hopefully this clears some things up. One last thing that I'll mention is, let's say that you have a older node that you ran that is it's not the automated script version. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so it's not the automated script version. Let's say that you have the older version that you created like months and months ago. Um, as long as you back up the node, and then after you back it up, you have your information, like your key store secret, you should still be able to follow the same steps. Now, back then, not many, or I don't think a lot of people were changing their username, so they might still be under root. The only caveat is you would have to keep root as your host name. So that's probably the only thing that you'll have to do if you have an older node. Um, I'm thinking about making a video for that, but I feel like this should be okay. Um, it's the same concept though. As long as your host name is the same, even if it's root to root, you should be okay. But the automated script method makes things much easier because you can always change your information with number 2. But be sure to follow me on Twitter, and please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.